To social sciences class, all my dear young minds. Today we are going to come across causes for Second World War and consequences of Second World War. Due to inconvenience caused by phone storage, I couldn't carry posting of this related videos for past one day. Nana, extend my deep regrets or inconvenience is regretted, and hereafter I think there won't be any such problem. Continuously every day you will be getting 2 videos. Please follow them very sincerely. And more, coming Monday there will be an ST in this particular chapter, total chapter. Coming Monday, please keep it in mind, right? Thank you. So now, causes for Second World War. There are certain causes now. 1. Treaty of Versailles. 2. Failure of League of Nations. Failure of League of Nations. 3. Germany's desire to arrange domination. 4. Spreading communism by Russia. Spread of communism by USSR. Immediate cause. See, Nana, 1. Treaty of Versailles is a cause for Second World War. Failure of League of Nations is a cause for Second World War. And Germany's desire to arrange domination of elite powers is 1. Third is the spreading communism by USSR. All these capitalist countries which are in the western part of the world, they got worried by seeing the influence of Eastern European countries going under the influence of communism. Got it? So they felt worried that communism may come towards them also, and finally it may be leading to the communist world emerging very strong. That's why they started worrying about the spreading of communism, and they tried to put a check to spreading communism, which is organized by USSR. Right? How USSR organized itself, we are going to see. Immediate cause. This is Hitler's attack upon the Polish corridor, but when he attacked, he also did not feel that it will lead to a World War II. Just he thought that, like other countries, I am also expanding my domain, German domain. But it did not happen. So why, what happened and so on will be coming across, right? That's the Treaty of Versailles. Day before I say it. Treaty of Versailles is outcome of the Paris Peace Conference. Paris Peace Conference got held on 18th January in Versailles, Paris only, which is existing in the outskirts of Paris city. Put it on 19 January 1919. Just exactly 6 months to 10 days afterwards, that is on 28th June 1919, Treaty of Versailles got signed. Signed, we say, actually signed by whom? Allied powers and Germany. Germany was forced to sign. Germany willingly did not sign. But being a loser country, which made an armistice with his allied powers on 11th November and agreed to pay the war indemnity, that is, whatever the total loss caused in the World War II, and whichever the loss the allied powers victorious are winning allied powers faced because of Second World War. All the clauses should be compensated by Germany was the dictate of Treaty of Versailles. But this Treaty of Versailles caused a lot of damage to Germany, and that's why only Germany's desire is strong, developed a strong desire to avenge. Avenge means to take revenge against this domination of Allied powers, and it got handy a person like Hitler, who was strongly patriotic and strongly determined for making grand Germany, which existed before World War. So Treaty of Versailles, the humiliation caused to Germany, and not only humiliation caused to Germany, Treaty of Versailles, even Germany is rival of Allied powers, okay. But who were part of Allied powers, even they people were deceived, cheated. By whom? These Allied powers. How? Before World War I, actually in 1882, Italy made a triple alliance with Germany. But by the time of World War I, Italy jumped towards Allied powers. It was not with the Central powers. But this is a country called Italy in Europe. This country have to be with Germany. But Germany is the Prince Austria, here is Austria. These three are friends, Hungary, Austria, Austro-Hungarian Empire together called it. These are friends, but it is jumped towards France and England by the time of World War I. Why? And even Japan, an Asian country which is militarily powerful in entire Asia. This is the country which carried the philosophy of Pan-Asianism, United Asia, and it want to bring entire Asia under its control. It want to liberate all the Asian countries from European powers' influence, and it want to make all the countries, Asian countries, or continent of Asia to be under its control. But these all Asian countries are got exploited. Same like Pan-Africanism will be there in second chapter. Unification of all African countries, and a movement was started. Got it? Nkrumah. Got it? So, in the Nkrumah person from Ghana, right? In this way, they tried to these Allied powers. They attracted Japan towards them. That's promising that, see, if you are there on the side of Germany or someone, they will be winning. But if you are on our side, we will be winning. Once we win, whatever the war gains we will be getting, war benefits we will be getting, we will share equally. They are promising. And even China was given a promise by this Allied powers that certain parts which are under the control, under the influence of Allied powers like France and England, Russia, they will be given back to Chinese rulers. A promise was made before World War I, but after World War I completed, Allied powers bluntly forgot that promise, and they did not give any single piece of war benefits to these countries. In China also, they never tried to make out their influence, continued their activity in China. So China could not pursue because there is no strong military power or political power over there. And when the Treaty of Versailles was about to sign, in next chapter will be coming about May 4th movement. There was a big movement in China against the Treaty of Versailles, which ultimately turned into movement of reformation in China, political, economic, social structure of China by youngsters, youth. Youth came into the streets of Beijing, the capital, Peking or Beijing, same capital of China, right? So that will come across in next chapter after a course of time, right? So in this way, these countries who got bullied after World War I, they also felt that humiliation or insult, and that's why they developed a vengeance. Vengeance means pada. Vengeance means pada. Revenge, pratikar. Got it? So they developed a vengeance, and they want to revenge, or they want to take a revenge, or they want to avenge. So that's what happened. That turned a cause for Second World War. and Treaty of Versailles is source for that opposition from these particular countries. See, Paris Peace Conference was attended by 32 major countries, represented by 32 major nations or countries in the world, which are having good influence, even who represented 2/3 of the world's population. But like United States of America, Woodrow Wilson attended, Japan. So only countries who are not invited are Communist Russia, and also even though Russia was a part of Allied powers during World War I, but it did not get invitation. And friends of Germany, Austria, Turkey, they did not get any invitation. Germany also did not get an invitation to participate in Paris Peace Conference, or only it is forced to sign a Treaty of Versailles. Okay, according to territorial arrangement, they took away all the geographical regions of that particular nation. They took away, they broken. Germany got parceled out among the Allied powers, Western European countries. One took one part, other parts are Rally, and the places which Germany got according to Treaty of Frankfurt in 1871, that is Alsace and Lorraine, which are having rich deposits of gold. They were also taken by the France. Saar Valley was given for 15 years, that is belonging to Germany, which is rich in coal fields, coal mines, or coal reserves. That was also given away. Eufen and Malmedy was given to Belgium. Denmark took away Holstein. In this way, and some part of Danzig was kept under League of Nations, which even did not take birth. The League of Nations took birth on 11th January 1920. So Danzig was taken away and Poland was created. So in this way, several things happened. And what is the problem with the Danzig, or that particular region is called Polish Corridor? Where Danzig is there, that is called Polish Corridor. What the problem is, most of the people living there are Germans, means they speak German language. But it was kept under the control of international organization, and the neighboring part was made as Poland. So this is where was a cause for Hitler to occupy that Polish Corridor. Because there are majority people living over there are Germans, German-speaking people, that should be a part of Germany. That was the justful demand of Hitler. But it was not respected or honored by League of Nations or any international organization. That's why he made an attack, right? A conquest. Got it? Right. So failure of League of Nations. Failure of League of Nations is failure of League of Nations. Why we say is League of Nations took birth based on the 14 principles that got advocated by or proposed by the US President, Reagan US President Woodrow Wilson. But first failure we can understand that of League of Nations we can understand as the America which took initiative in making this League of Nations. Why we are saying America, United States of America? We are saying because the head of that state, President Woodrow Wilson, brain-born changed League of Nations to avoid further wars in the world, so that there won't be a repetition of World War. He proposed certain points. Basing on that only, the body called League of Nations was framed, and it came into existence on 11th January 1920. Got it? So, even though America proposed and its president was very much initiative, but America did not join. United States of America did not join. Why? Because there was a popular opposition to the decision of Mr. Woodrow Wilson to join League of Nations. Even the Senate did not accept. American Congress denied majority. Not only opposition leaders, opposition parties, but also his own people also did not accept it. Why? Because there was a popular dissent among Americans. Why Americans got a dissent? They got frustrated by seeing the one-sided decisions of Treaty of Versailles. And they got worried because if this Treaty of Versailles is honored and it come into existence, at any point of time, Germany, if it bounces back, it will try to retaliate, or it will be trying to take revenge, or it will try to avenge. And then this Woodrow Wilson will not be Who will be sufferers? Our progeny, our coming generations will be sufferers for that. Why should our generation, coming generations have to suffer because of an idiotic decision taken by someone else? In Paris, some decision happens. So, at least you might have attended Paris Peace Conference, but don't go for this and don't be a part of League of Nations was the demand of the people, which was represented by the people's representatives in American Congress and Senate in majority. That's why resolution to join League of Nations was denied by majority representatives of the people in the United States of America. Outcome is America could not join League of Nations. This is the first failure. And we have to understand, it is formed to protect world peace and to promote cooperation among world countries. But this League of Nations, and also for human development also, it had organs like WHO, ILO and so on. WHO, ILO and so on. ILO is International Labour Organization, WHO is World Health Organization, which will take care of health of the world people, population of the world. And they both have headquarters at Geneva. Geneva is in Switzerland, right? So, these countries, in this way, it have to function for the human development and world peace. It have to solve the dispute between any two countries amicably, in a friendly spirit, and so on. These all things are there. But there are certain organs in League of Nations also, like even like General Assembly, Secretariat, International Court of Justice, ILO, WHO, and so on. The permanent members in Security Council, they themselves violated the restrictions imposed by League of Nations regarding imperialism or aggressive nationalism, and they started carrying attacks upon neighboring countries and started occupying. Best fit case is 1935, Japan, who is permanent member of Security Council of League of Nations, started a campaign against Korea, China, and almost occupied up to central China, so mainland of China. And by getting inspired by that, this fellow Italy, Mussolini, Benito Mussolini of Italy, started occupying neighboring countries in Europe, small countries, and also he started occupying certain places in Africa, like Ethiopia. So, in this way, imperialistic attacks started. So, this irritated Hitler and Russia also. Why? Because Russia and Hitler both joined, Germany both joined very late. They did not join in 1920, when it got formed. When it got formed, initial strength of this League of Nations is only 58 countries in the world were members of League of Nations. 58. At the time, Germany did not join and Russia did not join. But on the appeal repeated appeals made, by 1930s, they both joined, 1929 and so on. But as soon as they joined, by 34, so one got out. By 1937, another got out. 1934, Russia got out of this. 1937, Germany got out of League of Nations. They dismembered themselves. We are not members of this group. They said, why? When these permanent members who are part of allied powers, and when they are carrying imperialist attacks, when they are disturbing the peace, when they are illegally occupying other countries and disturbing the world peace, League of Nations was just a spectator. It could not stop because they are permanent members. Then Hitler was very much worried. What's the sense or reason in being a part of the single League of Nations? And why shouldn't we carry it? And basically his aim is to bring Grand Germany back. So as a part of that, he started launching campaign against neighboring countries. The first attempt by him was made against one of his friends in World War I, Austria. Two places, Bohemia and Moravia. Bohemia, Bohemia, Moravia were occupied in 1938. Bohemia, Moravia. They were occupied, they belonged to Austria. Austria. My dear friends, whenever you have nonsense, don't think Austria and Australia are same. Please, Austria will be just beside Italy in Europe. Australia is a continent, we all know, right? So Austria, 1938. Actually, before 1938 itself, that is 1937 itself, Benito Mussolini and Hitler made an agreement, a pact, anti-committal pact. Pact means pact, treaty. They are nothing but agreement. Whenever you come across, okay, right. Accord, even accord, ACCORD, accord. In history, accord, ACCORD. Accord, pact, PSP, pact, treaty. They are agreements made between different countries or different groups and persons. So, before 1938 itself, before Hitler launched a campaign against this Austria, in 1937 itself, Hitler and Italy made a pact called Anti-Committal Pact. Anti-Committal Pact. What is this committal? What is that committal? I'll explain you now when we come to the spreading of communism by USSR. Okay? Alright. So, anti-committal pact is signed. That means they both join the hands. Along with them, Spain, General Franco of Spain also joined with them. Dictator also. He got into power because of the support given by these two countries, Italy and Germany. So he also joined these two countries, and Japan also came and joined with them. 4 countries now strongly are carrying on imperialistic activities. They're occupying the fellow countries, neighboring countries, and so on. Someone in Europe, someone in Asia. In Asia, Japan started occupying with what slogan? Pan-Asianism. PAN, Pan-Asianism. Expansive politics or expansion politics started occupying the neighbors and expanding their domains. It's called expansion policies, right? Yeah, even recently we are seeing China trying to expand and exploit India by expanding itself or making it domain by occupying, increasing its domain by occupying our northeastern parts of the country or northern part of the country, and good support to Pakistan good support to China and so on. Of course, certain statements made by our Indian politicians are also called for the bad situation existing now. But in the Holy House, they said that we are going to occupy this, we are going to occupy this. They pinched it and the fellow started giving the land. So of course, very sorry to come across this situation, right? These are expansive politics, which are a cause for Second World War and also First World War. Right? You have to understand, right? So Hitler attacked Bohemian in 1939. On 1st September, Hitler attacked Polish corridor where it was kept up a Danzig code, which is important, is kept under control of League of Nations by Treaty of Versailles. He wanted to take control of the Danzig code, and also majority of people living there are Germans, and it's a German domain on certain time. He wanted to get it back. For that purpose, he attacked that Polish corridor. That is immediate cause, 1st September 1913. But in this way, whatever League of Nations is meant, that could not deliver or discharge the duties which were conferred to it. That's a failure of League of Nations. What happened as Hitler attacked this Poland for the immediate cause of explaining, they lost them. 1st September, he attacked 1939 Polish corridor. And he occupied. As soon as he occupied Polish corridor, Britain came into the war field. Why Britain came into the war field? Because there is an agreement between Poland and Britain. If any time Hitler attacks the Polish corridor, because Hitler was saying very strongly that I will bring back that Grand Germany which was existing before World War I. So now, to that worry, Poland made already prior agreement with England. If Hitler attacks Polish corridor, you have to come to my rescue. To protect me. So, when Hitler attacked on 1st September 1939 in Polish corridor, then automatically Britain came into, because they are having an understanding and agreement, it came into to support its friend or to protect its friend, it came into war. When Britain came, British friend is France. France friend is Russia. These are our friends. Even ideological differences did not matter there. Communism and capitalism got compromised. and because they identify dictatorship is very dangerous for the world, and if we leave it, it will be causing much harm. Actually, to be frank, there are certain aspects I'll explain when I come to spreading of communism. Right? In this way, when one after other countries started coming in support of Germany, there came Italy, there came Japan, there came Spain. So now their colonies got involved, the African and Asian colonies. In this way, again, entire world turned into tinderbox, and that led to the Second World War, World War II. Got it done. And here, one more point. Germany, why you want to take image already explained? Failure of the evolution, data persons, image got explained. Spreading of communism by USSR, see, got formed on 30th December 1922. USSR got formed on Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, USSR. 30 December 1922 it got formed. 30 December 1922 it got formed. Okay. So, before that Russia it was. It is Russian Empire, and Russian Empire got collapsed after World War I. After Russian Revolution, you can say. 1917. Got it done. So, with the 1917 revolution, what happened? That is the second phase of revolution, which occurred in November according to international calendar, or in October according to Russian calendar. Why it is already explained to you, starting of the chapter, right? So, what happened? Russian Empire got collapsed after Communist or Bolshevik party came to the power, and the Bolshevik party quoted it as proletariat dictatorship. Proletariat dictatorship. Proletariat, P-R-O-L-E-T-A-R-A-T, proletariat dictatorship. Proletariat dictatorship. Okay. So means proletariat means workers. Totalitarian state, a state under a dictator's rule. What it means? Proletariat, totalitarian, egalitarian. Egalitarian means where a communist government, where all people are treated equally. That's an egalitarian state. You have to learn these terms. But they are not of English origin, but very derived from some other language in English. So you are supposed to learn this word egalitarian, totalitarian. Egalitarian means where a state where all people will state where government will be giving equal status of political, economic, social, judicial, equal status to all the people. Got it? So that state is called egalitarian. Totalitarian state under the control of a dictator, and it is proletariat workers dictatorship came into existence there, because workers were very crucial in the Russian communist revolution or Bolshevik party revolution. So once it came to the power, by 1918 March, the next year, 1970 November, the communist government got emerged, where Lenin became the president of the country, and Trotsky became the prime minister of the country. Very next year, March, it floated or it organized a body called Comintern. I said an anti-Comintern pact was made by Hitler and Mussolini in 1937. A body called Comintern was formed. A body called Comintern, C-O-M-M-I-N-T-E-R-N, Comintern, C-O-M-M-I-T-E-R-N, Comintern. It is a body. It may be asked for 2 marks tonight. It's a body formed by Russia, Communist Russia, in March 1980. First point. And what is its Comintern's aim is? It is formed to spread the philosophy of communism around the world. But why it want to spread the philosophy of communism around the world? Russia determined to bring communist or proletariat dictatorship around the world, so that being champion of communism, it want to get control upon entire world in the name of communism. That's what Hitler was saying. what? When I explained about Hitler, I said this communism and capitalism are nothing but two sides of a coin, or it is a double-headed snake. The snake being Jews, and they are the ones dividing the world into capitalism and communism, and they are exhibiting their supremacy over the world in the name of ideology. We should not accept it. And we are honest, we are born to rule but not to be ruled, was the saying of Hitler. I said very bad, very bad. Right? And Comintern was formed to bring the communist dictatorship around the world, and it want, being the champion of communism, it want to enjoy control upon all the world countries through Russia. For that purpose, it formed Comintern. One Comintern got formed in March 1918. It got, what is the purpose? To spread communist philosophy around the world. Why it wanted to spread the philosophy of communism? It is because Russia was interested in bringing a proletariat dictatorship around the world, so that it became, so that being champion of communism, it want to become head of the world, or want to make all the world countries to be under its control. And what way Comintern will be spreading communism? It will be supplying arms, money to the people who are raising their voices in different parts of the world, and it will attract them towards communist philosophy. It will give a red cloth to them on the shoulders, and guns and money, whatever is needed, and so that they will fight against the governments. And workers, mostly working community, laborers, agricultural laborers, industrial workers, and so on. They naturally have any worker, wherever you see any company, they will be never, whatever the best the management may do, but they will be having always this or that company. At that time, nowadays managements are having a change because of this changing times, which change management started happening. But at that time, managements were very strong against laborers and workers. So naturally, even workers have a bit more pain. So identifying them and getting attracted towards communist revolution, communist flag, a red flag, and spreading communism, supplying them arms and weapons, so that they will fight, and finally they will achieve a proletariat dictatorship in that country also. So to bring that proletariat dictatorship, Comintern will be working in a background on behalf of Russia, by supplying whatever the required weapons to them, and also whatever the funds are required to carry on their revolutionary activity, that will be supported by Comintern. This is 2 marks question may be asked in the final exam. Please remember, right? So Comintern got formed by Russia, so that it wants to spread communism around the world. That is a past where the capitalist countries of the West, like Britain, France, they all got worried. That's why they started opposing communism. And when they started opposing communism, suddenly they started giving support to Hitler, because if at all they want to go for a war against communism, instead of going directly, they may go against the World War. But they can use this Hitler as a check to communist Russia in carrying its influence of communism over the other parts of the world. So that's why they started giving support to Hitler by sending him whatever the programs are required, money. This is called as appeasement of Hitler. Appeasement means pampering, butchiginch. Historians call it as appeasement of Hitler. And Hitler is very clever. His country requires a good support, economic support, food support, and so on. He did not deny. He said, if they are ready to send, okay, you send, no problem. And with that, what happened? Food grains started coming into Germany. Now there is no shortage of food grains. People started getting food grains. And where the prices of food grains came down. Yeah, so that the devaluation of currency was put in check. But inflation got down. And he started war industries. Unemployed youth were given employment in war industries and other automobile industries, Volkswagen and so on like that. And also construction of highway activities was initiated under the supervision of a finance minister who is very close to Hitler, Hammer Scott. What is done? Hammer Scott. I beg your pardon. Earlier I was saying Hammer Scott wrong. H-J-A-L-M-E-R, hammered, Scott, S-H-A-U-T, Scott. But Hitler, right? Hammer Scott initiated his programs on behalf of Hitler, and in this way Hitler was doing very good things to the people of his own country, so that much more love started towards Hitler in that particular country. He did not see that the economy will fall down, much more worse, in the name of carrying war and showing the supremacy of the race. He did not do that. He was to concentrate upon strengthening Germany militarily, economically. That's why he became a hero, dawning of masses of Germany, because they were suffering with hunger for a long time. And they now started looking like a hero, Mr. Hitler. But his aggressive foreign policy of attacking neighboring countries and in a hurry to make grand Germany, he invited his troubles that turned detrimental to his own interests, and finally committed suicide on 30th April, just 10 days after his birthday, we can say, in 1945. Of course, not in the same year. Right? Thank you. 1889 to 1945, Hitler lived. So these are the causes for Second World War. And what are the consequences? Next video I will be bringing you. Thank you all, and wait for the next video.